Okay, this is the May tutorial of the month, and what I want to show you how to do is make this really nice lace bracelet with a chain up the middle. And I'll be using a few of the techniques that I like to do, which is an E-wrap chain, and you can see how that's working through here. It's a very short repeat of about 4 rows. It's 8 stitches, so all you need is 8 stitches. I'm using a 3/8 inch gauge. Pardon the kids, they're in there playing. A 3/8 inch gauge is what I'm using. You could probably use a 1/2 inch gauge. You can use a finer gauge than that, make it real small, a finer yarn. It's versatile. You just continue the number of the 4-stitch pattern until you have the length you want around the wrist, and you'll need to go a little more than what you expect, because this is going to shorten when you do the chain up, so that's going to shorten it. Because I'm already in the middle of it and I want to show you how the colors work to be able to pull up the original loop on that, we're gonna do kind of 2 things on this same loom. So I'm going to show you the cast on in the first row to get set up to start doing the patterning that will be a repeat. Okay, so I'm going to do this over here. Okay, so what I want to do is E-wrap cast on 8. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Push down, and then what you're going to do is you're going to knit straight across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That puts you on this side. Okay, fix that. Okay, that puts you on this side. Alright, so that gets you started. Now, from here, you're going to start working your 4-row set. Okay, and this is your first row. What you're going to do is you're going to E-wrap chain 5. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to skip this peg, pick up this stitch, decrease it back to the peg you skipped. Okay. Then you're going to knit 2 together. Make sure I get that full stitch. Knit 2 together. So toss both loops over. Then you're going to yarn over, which is basically laying the working yarn over the empty peg. Then you're going to E-wrap chain the next peg with a stitch on it 10 times. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Stretch that out and put that, move it over to the next peg. Okay. And then you're going to toss that bottom loop over. Now, you'll want to pick up your original stitch, which is going to stick out because we're going to purl it so it's easy to see. So it's sticking out. You're going to pick it up and put it back on the peg. Okay. So you're going to do a purl stitch. It's going to stick out. And you're going to put it right back on the peg like that. Okay. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this next stitch here. You're going to decrease it over to the next peg, yarn over, and then you're going to knit those 2 stitches together, and then you're going to E-wrap chain 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, that's row 1. That is the most complex row right there. Alright, every other row is easy. That was the hardest one. Alright, now what we want to do is we want to knit 2, purl 1, knit 2, purl 1, knit 2. Then you're going to knit the row outright. Okay, then this is your last row of the set. You're going to knit over 4, 3, 4. Okay, then you're going to purl 1 and knit 3. Then you're going to start back the beginning on your 4-row set. Okay, and we'll go over it one more time. So you're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the first one, take that next stitch, move it back to the one you skipped, knit 2 together, yarn over, E-wrap chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take that stitch, move it over to the next one, toss the bottom loop over, and then you're going to bring back that original stitch, which you're going to see as a purl. You see these chains here, and you see this one that's just horizontal to it. Pick it up and put it back on. I'm going to have to check on them, kids. Let me finish the row for you. Then you're going to move that over. You're going to decrease it. Yarn over. Knit 2 together. E-wrap chain 5, and that finishes the row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll pause this and come back. Picking up from where we started off, you're going to knit 2, purl 1, knit 2, purl 1, knit 2. And our next row, you're just going to knit all the way across, and I will be including a link below in the info box, the video of the written for this pattern. Okay, you're going to knit 4, 2, 3, 4, purl 1, knit 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is what we have so far, and you just continue that 4 set row until you have the length you want. This is my example you chain up, and then you have these eyelets on the side, and they show up even, which means you can take a crochet hook and do a nice chain to finish. And this fits one of my kids, but that's kind of what it looks like on. So to figure out what your length is, I suggest chaining about 4 or 5, or to where it looks like it's about an inch, and gather how many times you see those chain loops in an inch, and do however many inches you need and maybe a couple of extra. So you calculate what you got there, and then you do however many to make the length you need for the bracelet, and just a couple extra. But go ahead and do the length you need, and I will show you how to finish it up so that you can wear it. Okay, I have finished 18 sets and stopped at my last row. And what I like to do personally, you don't have to do this, I like to go ahead and set up my chain. Alright, so take the crochet hook, send it through the first 2 loops, pull the second loop inside the first loop, pick up, pull the second loop inside the first loop, and you're going to do that all the way up. Okay, and if you want to do something exactly like I've done, I've used worsted yarn, I've used a 3/8 inch gauge, and I've done it 18 times, so you should have 18 loops. Alright, that's if you want to do exactly what I've done here. I'm almost got the chain done. One last one. And what I like to do is send that and put the chain right there. Doesn't matter, you can put it on the 4th or 5th stitch, somewhere close to the middle. Alright, and as you can see, there is your chain. Alright, okay, let's finish up with a bind off. Alright, so you're going to knit pegs 1 and 2, take that stitch, move it over to peg 1, knit the bottom loop over, move to the empty peg, knit stitch 2, move over to peg 1, toss the bottom loop over, move to the empty peg, knit the second peg, move over to peg 1, toss the bottom loop over, move to the empty, and when you get to that chain one, just toss both of them over like that, and that works it in, so you don't have to tie it off. So it's pretty regular bind off, nothing special on the binding off. And everything. Now I'll make suggestions that will make it fun if you want to do the linking of the chains later. If you have a bunch of charms, there's a way you can work in charms. So, and snip the yarn. So just need sharpening. That's what we're sitting here. Pull through. Alright, so here is the bracelet. Okay. And you can attach a button here, and then what I like to do is go in and do a tighten up of the cast on, and what I'll take is the extra end and tie it together, which gives you a loop. See, if you send it through that loop and you tie it together like that, it gives you a loop, and then you can attach a button and do it that way. If you got it big enough where you can send it over your arm, you can just attach it. Okay. Now you can block this if you really want it nice and smooth. Wet it out and pin it onto a foam board where these loops here, these loops in between, give a more lace effect, show up. Okay, nice and neat. Alright, here's one more thing you can do. You have little holes that show up. Those are eyelets. Okay, and you can take advantage of those eyelets, but this means you'll need a crochet hook. Okay, and I'm going to kind of show you how to go about doing this. What you can do is you can take and pull this up through here, okay, and you send it through the first one and the second hole, wrap it, pull through, okay. You send it through the first hole and the second hole, pull through, send it through the first, then the second, pull through, and you do this all the way down. And as you can see, it's adding a whole different dimension, and that ends up looking like this, where it has a nice extra design look to it, and you can see what that looks like there. Okay, so that's if you want to do that kind of thing. Now let's say you want to do the chains afterwards. What you can do, if you want to leave the eyelets exposed, and if you want to do this and get it really girly, you can take and slip a charm in between down to the base of each loop, and then send it through, so that you can have chains, the little charms that hang periodically through the bracelet. So this is a really fun, quick, versatile, use scrap yarn kind of pattern, and I hope to see several examples of people who wanted to try it out and see what they think of it on Facebook or Google Plus, or whichever way you want to do that. Please feel free to share your results with me. Alright, that's it.